all painted up for a crackhead, huh? Halloween ain't till mañana.
Just another PODoween.
Happy PODoween, everybody. Here we are in October, fresh with a Dogfish Head pumpkin beer and our childhood favorites crushed by the one and only Rob Zombie.
Yeah.
Today we're talking about the Munsters.
Rob Zombie, the director of House of a Thousand Corpses, Halloween, and The Devil's Rejects, brings you the greatest love story ever told.
Oh, I don't like the sound of that.
On Talking Trash.
Talking trash.
We are just another movie night. I'm Scott,
I'm Joe.
and we got a hefty turd to lug through the depths.
You're so monotone. All I want to do is scream right now. Because
No,
I
I gotta. Someone, one of us has got to be the calm one, and one of us
you
has got
have
to
to
be
be the
the.
calm one because you knew that I was gonna be after I saw this piece of crap. I mean, we watch crap all day, every day. We love watching bad movies, so we were gonna watch this regardless. But
We knew what we were getting into.
we knew what we were getting into. But I gotta say, like, I don't like Rob Zombie movies, and that's being really nice about it.
There is a
And-
huge group of people
Yes.
who love Rob Zombie movies.
Yes, and I hope that I don't piss off a huge community, which I probably will, but you know what? Hey.
They're probably not listening.
But honestly, I can speak freely, and I'm going to say I can't stand him. I think he's a terrible director. I don't know why they ever handed him the Halloween franchise. How dare you?
I don't know. I don't necessarily think he's a terrible director.
Okay.
I do think
Better
that
than me.
I do think that he latches onto a vibe that can only be summed up as trash. He loves this trashy vibe, and he really embraces it. And the thing I have never liked about him is that he worships the villain too much.
Yes,
I
he
think
does.
movies that do that glorify serial killers in a way that I think that people get mad about, like when Zac Efron got casted to be Ted Bundy, but they did it on purpose. So people were mad because they're like, oh, they're glorifying serial killers. What that movie was trying to show was he was a person that women approached, and that's what's scary about him. That's why they hired somebody who was pretty. They wanted to do that on purpose. But the problem with Rob Zombie, he is doing the thing that no one seems to be complaining about. Every time they complain about like the Zac Efron thing, they're never bringing up Rob Zombie. His movies, The Devil's Rejects, House of a Thousand Corpses, they love serial killers and dirt bags. And people who love that, fine. I get it. There's a group who love it. And you know what? That's fine. I also liked one of his movies a lot.
Lords of
Thank
Salem.
you. Lords of Salem.
That was the only, I mean, in my opinion, the only decent one.
I thought it was pretty good. And I was shocked by it. The Halloween movies, it was exactly what Devil's Rejects and stuff is, and what's wrong with those movies done on the Halloween property. And you could tell that he necessarily didn't even want to do it. You can see that. Now, he also is great with animation. Rob Zombie famously did the animation during Beavis and Butthead Do America. There's a sequence where they trip out. He did all the animation for that, and it's awesome. And he's great at it. He worked on the
should stick
Pee-wee's.
to that, yeah.
He worked on Pee-wee's Playhouse. Like, he's interesting, and he's got some kind of vibe. He's got some kind of eye for things. But I don't know if he's a director. I think that he is directing movies, and bless him or whatever. But this movie proves that he should not be directing.
Yes, and I I have so much to say, but I don't want to be mean.
Yeah,
I don't want to be mean.
It's hard to
but
be not mean. It's so odd.
I just feel like every time I watch something with his name on it, that I feel like I have to wash my eyeballs out with soap. I feel like he just vials up everything. It's just vile.
Yeah.
I mean, House of a Thousand Corpses, The Devil's Rejects were just the whole filming, all every scene, the style of filming just felt gross. I just had to I wanted to cleanse my eyeballs with bleach after watching it. It was just gross.
Yeah.
And he makes the villains, like you said, the heroes.
Yeah, I think it was The Devil's Rejects. I think that's the second one. We tried with both. We watched the first one, didn't like that. A lot of people seemed to like it, so we came back for another one to see if it got any better. Then the end of that movie does this real insane glorifying them being killed. They go out in like a blaze of glory, like they're Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid.
Yeah.
The problem with Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kids is you like them.
Yeah.
They have a good side.
Or it's like,
there is nothing good about the characters in this movie. That movie, when they get killed, I want them to die. And
Right.
and they're playing Freebird. And I wanted to scream.
I know. It's like
what
not
is
like
this?
Young Guns, or Young Guns 2 when like Doc goes out, Chavez goes out. It's not like that. You still feel like a sense of something good here. I don't know why. But
Yeah.
with the way he directs, it just skeeves me out. Like I feel gross.
Yeah.
It's like the first time I watched like Hostel. I when I saw it, not that it has anything to do with him, but just like I'm just comparing Eli Roth's movie to the way he directs, because I feel like that skin crawling thing that Hostel was going for on purpose, that's kind of like the way I felt like, ooh, skin crawl, ugh.
Yeah.
And it was what I was supposed to be feeling during that movie. But during his films, I'm not supposed to be feeling that, and I do. And I feel like he just, in this movie, the Munsters, first of all, why hand him these beloved properties?
Well,
I don't understand this.
To finish your thought on Hostel, though, it's a perfect example. Only reason I want to go back to it is Hostel has exactly what this needs. You go through these tragedies, these awful, disgusting things, but it's about the main character surviving and getting out. Mm-hmm. And you want him to get revenge on them and get the hell out of there and survive. So it's like, that's what you're kind of rooting for. That's the crutch on the movie. That's what you're really going for. His movies don't have that.
No.
Like, I don't see that.
They don't. I don't know what we're supposed to be rooting for. So
Getting
into
now.
this, I don't know what he was trying to accomplish with this.
Yeah.
It was so over the top goofy. And reviewers that are putting out, like MovieWeb and all that stuff, are putting out reviews on this, are saying just that too. That it's just goofy as hell. It's almost embarrassing.
This is one of the most odd films I've seen in quite a while. And there's so many things to talk about here. Technical and to get really down into filmmaking. Because I just feel like on that front, it's a fucking mess. Structurally, script, I don't know what he was thinking, what he was going for, what his idea is. So just to start off this movie, it jumps right into it. Now, if this movie was made for kids, which it seems to be,
I have no clue who it's made for.
Yeah, well, let's just say it is, because it's not made for the fans.
It's not made for the fans because there's nothing grotesque and sick shit.
Well, I meant the fans of the Munsters.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah,
but
for old time fans, who grew up the Munsters, they're not going to want to watch
those
this.
people are in their 60s and 70s.
But there's also kids like me and you who grew up. I was watching the show.
Yeah, I would watch reruns, of course. And I
watched it all the time. I loved it. I wouldn't say this is for people who love the show. It's definitely, and like you said, it's not for Rob Zombie fans. Although I think Rob Zombie fans will defend whatever he puts out because they just love him.
Oh, they will defend him to the death, and that's what pisses me fuck off.
I hate that.
I'm trying to
die on the sword thing.
Oh my god, I can't take it. It's like
I like certain things too. Like we always say, like we have favorite things. I like Godzilla. I know Godzilla movies aren't great. I know they're not great. They're just fun. I only talk about them because I know they're fun. So some
like
people
crap.
just can't.
I mean, I have guilty pleasures. Everyone does, but I don't understand what he was going for in this movie. It's like infuriating.
Right there, guilty pleasure is what you said. That's the problem right there, though, right? Because for them, for people who like and defend him, it's not guilty pleasures. They really
No, they
love
really
it.
enjoy it, and I'm like, why?
We were just on tour. For anybody listening, we were just on. Did a nice trip, and we went on a walking tour throughout a city. And the group with us, one of the people in the group said, "My favorite movie is A House of a Thousand Corpses," and I was just like, "That's your favorite?
That's your favorite movie ever?"
And I mean, it kind of is. It's depressing in a little way.
Of course, but we did learn that she was all of 23 years old, and
still, it's like
she just had that vibe. Like,
yeah,
that's what horror fans are now. If you're like a Rob Zombie fan, then that classifies you as a horror fan? No, not at all. Not at all. And if you're a horror fan and you don't like Rob Zombie movies, does that make you less of a horror fan? No, I say F you if you're going to say that.
I feel like people do think that, and that's really strange.
Bullshit.
But,
like, I'm sorry, I get pissed off because I'm tired of this Rob Zombie love. I don't know what he was going for in this movie. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. We're not going to do spoilers.
We are. This is talking trash. We were gonna start right off the bat, and that's why I was
off the bat. I mean, he keeps putting his wife in his movies, and I don't get it. I don't understand it. I will say that she actually annoyed me quite less than she usually does. So there's that. She looked good in the costumes. She looked pretty decent, and she did a little over the top with the, accent, she did kind of like an old Hollywood kind of vibe. Yeah. It was a little bit over the top, but she didn't annoy me as much as I thought she would. Yeah. So that's a plus, I guess.
I think before I was trying to say that the movie starts off right off the bat, it throws you in, and the reason I brought up, I don't know who this is for, because the movie opens instantly in a world that I feel like you're supposed to know what's happening. But since I don't know who this is for, if this is for kids, the kids don't know who these characters are.
No, the kids don't know who the characters are, but
the movie makes no like
apologies.
No, they don't even try. Is what I'm gonna say. They don't even try to tell you who Grandpa is and who Lily is. They just show them.
They just show them, like, that's what I'm saying. They make no apologies, because if this movie is for kids based on the music, the set pieces, and the goofiness of it, I would feel that, yes, this is for kids, but kids would not know who these people are.
That's what I'm saying.
So, why don't you explain this a little bit? You just go right into it and think that everyone's just going to know who these characters are. If they're young, they're not going to know anything. So that's why I'm wondering, who did you make this movie for?
Yeah, and that's the big question throughout this whole movie, because you cannot watch this movie without thinking this is a kids movie, or at least this is an attempt at a kids movie.
Right out of the gate. Right out of the gate, you thought it was a kids movie.
And it is so strange, because I don't think these jokes are jokes for kids. I don't think they're going to laugh. They're very, very odd.
It's odd. They won't get it. It won't land.
I don't know how old Rob Zombie is, but that whole thing about dad 50s. Jokes. These dad jokes are extreme. Yeah. And I will say that you were bringing up the actors. So this is littered with people that Rob Zombie gets along with really well, and he puts in all of his movies. And there are people that you'll see and recognize from everything. They're all people. I recognize almost half the cast right off the bat. There's one actor I didn't know who he was. The movie jumps in. Now, we're supposed to think this is a prequel to the show. This movie's supposed to be the birth of Herman, and the meeting of Lily and Herman falling in love and getting married, right? Yeah. That's the concept. The problem is the movie goes out of its way to tell you it doesn't give a shit about what year it is.
That's true.
Because throughout the whole entire movie, they reference, they make jokes, they show things that are from different time periods, and then it ends like it's right in the beginning of the show. So we're stuck thinking, is this just like a reboot? Or it does seem like it sets up the show, because it literally ends with the show's opening. Yeah. And so you're sitting there going, this is a prequel.
It is, because then they end up at the end at Mockingbird Lane in that new house. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, it is. So
then my question is, right before that happens, they are at a DJ party.
Yeah. I
don't know what's going on.
Okay, the whole movie just seems like a freaking rave. I mean, just the colors. There's okay. They're in Transylvania. They start out in Transylvania.
The movie apparently opens in Transylvania.
Everything is all monsters. Obviously, Count Orlok. She's Lily is trying to go on a date and try and find Mr. Right, and so she goes on these dates and.
It starts with 2 other characters that aren't in canon, I don't think. Basically, I don't know the character's name, but it's Dr. Frankenstein, virtually. And his assistant, which is like an Igor assistant.
Played by Jorge Garcia from Lost.
The other actor that's playing the doctor is in so much stuff I've seen. He was just in Barbarian. He is the serial killer living in the basement.
Ooh, I didn't even catch that.
Yeah. They start off... Now, that guy that's playing the doctor he's going over the top, and it's kind of funny, but his dialogue... he's throwing up deuces. They're taking photographs with a digital camera.
Yeah, and a digital camera. Like, that's what I'm saying. It's not. It's supposed to be set in like whatever time. I don't know.
It's Transylvania.
It's
supposed to be a monster timeline in Transylvania. And by the way, every monster's out on the streets. Everybody knows each other. There's monster TV. This is definitely a thing that would be in other places, but Americans don't seem to know about it. Neither does Paris. So. That's a whole nother thing. So,
God.
So yeah, it starts off with them body hunting, and they're just corny as all hell. They kill a zombie and they get his hands, and it's all jokes, and it's all tongue in cheek. Everything is being filmed with multiple color palettes.
Yes.
Which might be one of the movie's strongest aspects.
I actually was gonna say I like the colors in this movie. I like the colors.
Cool, but it's oversaturated.
Yes.
So much so that the black levels in the movie actually get staticky and look like crap. And I noticed it a lot. What's even worse, and something that we really need to bring up, is that it's like Rob Zombie was given a Halloween CD of sound effects.
Yeah, what the fuck
And
was
he
that?
went to town. He used every single sound effect that he could. If there's a scene of them walking anywhere in Transylvania, there's a werewolf howling multiple times. There is the thunder. They also have transitions that are bats flying, grates coming down. They split when people are talking on cell phones. They don't talk on cell phones. If they did, I'd be even more crazy. If they talk on phones, there's a lightning bolt in the middle of them. It's just very... It's filmed in such a corny way that I don't know if he was thinking that he was doing the show. It doesn't seem like it. I don't remember those kind of things happening on the show.
He was so friggin' confused during, filming his own movie.
I could just see him laughing.
Yeah, like he probably thinks it's a hoot. But honestly, sorry, that's my chair. There's like literally no rhyme or reason to any of this filming. Like, what are you going for here, man?
Yeah.
Like, get your life together. What the fuck is this? Like, at first, like, it's a pretty, color palettes, like you said. And then all of a sudden, it just transitions to utterly ridiculous. She starts dating Herman. So long story short,
well, yeah. So
then he becomes like a pimp. He looks like a pimp. His outfits are so ridiculous. But he's a stand-up comedian.
I love how fast
it's
you
all
jumped
over the
into
place.
it.
I can't take it. My mind is like a pile of mush.
Well, so they create him. They get body parts and they create Herman. You see the birth of Herman, and it's all really cheesy jokes. Like, why is he named Herman Munster? Oh, because the one character is eating Munster cheese.
Yeah. And he liked a guy named Herman. He had a friend named Herman.
Yeah, a friend named Herman.
Okay.
Okay, stupid. But the thing to point out here is that set is kind of cool.
The set was awesome. There are some really cool set pieces.
There's some neat, like, throwback sci-fi set pieces.
It looked like a Halloween store. It looked like if you walk into, like, I don't know, something like Pier 1 or something during Halloween, and there's just all these candelabras and crazy stuff in there. Like, it looked like a Halloween store. I mean, I will say that I loved it because I love Halloween decor and spooky crap, but I gotta say, I just still don't, through the whole movie. And mind you, can I just say that it was an hour and 49 minutes.
Which is crazy. It doesn't need to be. It's it's an hour and 49 minutes without setup.
There's no setup. There is zero rhyme or reason to this film at all.
There's parts that could have been cut that don't need to be there, but it's obviously him overindulging in himself. Multiple times throughout this, they show television shows that are on TV that he watched when he was a kid, obviously. So you get to, or movies. So you see like
Abbott and Costello.
Leave It to Beaver is being shown a lot.
Yep.
There's cartoons. There's Woody Woodpecker at one point. This happens throughout the film over and over. They keep showing it, and they virtually show entire clips. And it could have been cut out. It doesn't need to be there, and that's what adds the time. It's really, really
It's weird. Like, why are you dragging Karloff into this? Leave him alone. We don't need to see a clip of the mummy.
It's so him saying, "This is the stuff I love, and this is the stuff I'm embracing." And that's why his sets look the way it does. That's why the colors. He wanted the movie to look like a cartoon. It's very obvious.
I get it,
that's
but
what
then
he's going for.
That would be for the people that are more of our age, his age.
Yeah.
But the rest of the movie was so cartoonish and ridiculous that you think he's making it for a 6-year-old.
Well, I will point this out. Well, he's making the Munsters, and he says he loves the Munsters, but this movie is really I would say a remake of the Adam West Batman. If the color palettes, the style of directing, the overboard transitions, it is all Batman.
That is a brilliant statement.
Yeah,
it actually
it doesn't fit
true.
Munsters. If this was a remake of the old school Adam West Batman,
this
could have been a lot of fun because it would have embraced his humor he's going for.
That is brilliant. That's an awesome assessment.
Batman is very known for Dutch angles, which is when the camera is at a tilt. It's usually used to make you uncomfortable in a shot. Usually used to use a bad guy and stuff like that. They use that in Batman a lot. It's very mocked. But the problem is, Rob Zombie does that through this movie constantly. But he doesn't stop at a Dutch angle. It's like not a static shot. It's constantly rotating. It's constantly in movement, and the shots aren't done properly at all. There's a part in this movie where they're on a staircase that's got fog machines running down it like crazy, and the camera is at the top of the stairs filming Grandpa in complete movement when it should be close on him because he's talking, but the camera's rotating, and it's almost like they should have cut, and he just didn't even pick up on it. Like you can hardly see him because he's getting out of the shot as he's talking. Does not work at all. That's bad directing. That's just not. It does not work. And it's just a lot of that in this.
It's just a whole big world of confusion in this movie. He didn't know what he was going for, what audience he wanted to appeal to, and then by the end of this movie, at an hour and 49 minutes, I'm like, what the fuck? Yep. First of all, there's no Eddie Munster. And I know that it's because it's like they just got married and stuff, but I'm like, I'm sure there's another human being out there that's like, oh, come on, man. But they did honor Butch Patrick. They did. And he played Eddie Munster in the original, but
yeah,
they
the
made
kids
him like
are in this. They make little cameos, voice cameos for some reason.
Cameos. And then can we please talk about my queen who shows up in this, and she's not bad. She's not, annoying or upsetting in any way, Cassandra Peterson. But I just wonder, why would you do this? I guess because they're friends.
Oh, they're friends, yeah.
But I'm just like, but no.
I mean, Dee Wallace shows up. He's got a big group of people, like especially people who don't get used enough, and he likes bringing them into his movies. He's in a group of these directors that all get along, like Tarantino and Rodriguez, and they all embrace actors that they grew up with, and they try to put them in their movies as much as they can. And he's doing that here. And you know what? Bless him for that.
No, I get it. He has
awesome.
a lot of friends, and I appreciate that he keeps them employed and he puts them in his movies and stuff. But I just feel like, God damn it, there's a scene in the movie where, Cassandra Peterson, Elvira, is a realtor. So she's, the whole family, the Munsters, they moved to California. Or, they moved to California, and they're looking to buy a house there. And, of course, she's the realtor. So she's the one selling them their Mockingbird Lane or whatever house. And so they open the scene with, oh, come by my office and I'll show you a house. I'll be in costume because it's Halloween, so you might not recognize me. And so all of a sudden I'm like, oh, fuck, this is going to be redeemed for me for 5 seconds because she said that. That means she's going to be in full Elvira gear. And I just should have known better.
It would have been too much, yeah.
I should have known better, but I was let down by that because I was like, oh, this is going to be a great surprise. I really am so excited because she said she would never put the costume back on. But I felt like when she said that, she tricked the fuck out of all of us. And I was like, oh man, that sucks. But I was happy to see her because I'm always happy to see her. Yeah, and they put like a couple of extra little cameos in there, but nothing major, nothing like it's gonna blow your mind. And I feel like by the end of this, I was left stupefied because I'm like, what was that I just watched? It was so laughable, but not in a good way. It was just fucking crap. I don't know.
Going back to the beginning of this movie, you get your thing, you learn who he is, how he got made, and he becomes, Herman Monster becomes a comedian, but a rock star comedian. It is so odd, but I'm going to give the movie credit because I thought the guy who was playing Herman Monster, what?
No, Munster.
What'd I say?
Monster.
Wow, fuck it. Whatever.
You drunk asshole.
I'm not even drunk. I wish I was, really. It sobered me up while I was drinking. It was an unreal movie.
Like, did he just say that?
Herman Munster.
Yeah.
Yeah, Herman Munster, the actor playing him, I actually thought was doing a good job. He's doing the laugh. He's doing the stomp and the hand thing. And he's kind of funny. I think that he's the one who is getting what they're going for, and he's trying to be, he's trying to be funny, and he's doing good physical comedy. And he's working with what he's got, and it's not a lot. So it's not so bad.
All right, I'll admit that he did a decent job. He did a decent job, and like I said, I didn't.
He's a
really,
highlight for me.
I didn't mind Sherry either. I thought she did a decent job too.
I liked.
Grandpa was whatever.
I don't have a problem with her. I know a lot of people, and I do understand. Like sometimes you got to use other people.
Yeah.
You can't always have. I love you. I couldn't put you in the lead in every damn movie I made.
wouldn't want to play every damn movie, every lead.
I understand how some people want to use every, like the person they love is their muse. But unfortunately, it doesn't always work. But here, she's not bad.
No, she's not bad.
But she is doing something that isn't Lily Munster. It's more of a weird throwback, old black and white actress.
Yeah, like an old timey.
More like a radio actress. Like a really strange voice thing she's doing. She's really going overboard. Which is, Lily was kind of more the reasonable one, the smart one, the wise one.
Yeah.
And she was kind of keeping the other two in line, which is Herman and her father, her grandpa.
Yeah, but that's her father.
Yeah, her father, the Count.
The Count.
And because they're always fighting, and he's always getting into weird experiments, and she's always like trying to keep them all in line. Here, she's just doing this. She's also like a bumbling idiot.
She's kind of flighty, like a little like a twit, kind of like I don't want to use the word like bimbo because that's not what she is in this.
It's odd.
It is odd. I can't describe it, but she's kind of cute. I mean, I think she's cute.
Yeah,
she wears the costumes well.
The costumes are kind of fun. There's some really
colors,
interesting stuff going on with
and Herman's costumes are pretty fun. With when he's doing his act as the it's like a psychobilly comedian rock star all in one.
Kind of fun.
And he's got like these two dudes that are like behind him playing instruments, and they're like the undead rockabilly like
he's got
greasers.
Volbeat backing him up.
Yeah, he's got Volbeat. But yeah, so
or Stray Cats.
Yeah, man, they do have that Brian Setzer look.
They did.
But anyway, so that was fun. But like, and then he's going on a date with Lily, and he like starts wearing this like, I don't know, he has like a pimp outfit. It's funny, it's goofy, and it's not necessary, but that's that was a cute thing that I found funny, like they went to Paris on their honeymoon, and he
asked her to marry him. They go on a whole thing, then they go on a honeymoon, they get married. When he's not on screen, the movie
drags.
Is suffering.
Yeah,
it is very odd. And Grandpa is being played by, I want to say his name is Roebuck. I want to say that's his last name. I think he's famous for playing Arzt on Lost, which is one of our favorites. And also, he played Jay Leno on The Late Shift, which was actually a really good TV movie. And
You were right, Daniel Roebuck.
Daniel Roebuck. He's doing a fine job too. It's just no dialogue here, and it's just very corny. And he's got a sidekick who is an actor who played Doctor Who once. I don't know what they're doing. It's just so odd. It's so out, so crazy, and it doesn't work. Same thing with Jorge Garcia's character. They're holy crap, and then they just disappear. They get away from them. There's a whole subplot with their other son, Grandpa's other son.
Yes, who is actually a character. He's a real
Lester.
Lester.
Uncle Lester.
Uncle Lester.
Yes, he's a werewolf, and he was on the show. He comes in, and that's the one actor I didn't know who he was. I've not seen this actor in anything, so I wasn't aware of him. I think he's a comedian or something. But he comes in, and he's got a whole subplot with some I don't want to say racist terms, but gypsies, which is what they're hammering in that they are. And there's a whole subplot there of get me the castle that they live in, and every time they cut back to that, it's like, Jesus, what the fuck were you thinking with the writing here? Like, what is this? It is suffering. Like, and then when they go back to Herman, you kind of giggle a little bit. It's kind of like, okay, it's not the worst, but fucking A, the plot just keeps dragging. So they move on from plot point to plot point without any real substance. Every time you think there's going to be some kind of substance, nothing happens.
No.
Herman accidentally signs away the castle, and you think there's going to be a whole thing because Lily's like, I know you're not that stupid. Although she knows he's that stupid. She loves him. And she actually says, oh, I wouldn't have married a blockhead, but I love that flat head. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
I don't know. So he
it doesn't, nothing comes of it.
Signs over the castle and tries to
He does it, and then she finds out, and then it's like, okay.
Yeah, so the castle's gone, which is why they have to move. They move to California.
Plot.
That's the plot point.
There's no plot.
It's like, okay, and then now what? I mean,
it just keeps jumping from thing to thing. They're on an airplane. He's drunk. People are freaked out by them. Okay. You know, it's like one joke, and it's not even a joke. I wouldn't even say joke after joke. They go to move to, they find the house, like you were saying before. Then they have a rave party in front. And now this is still supposed to be, I believe, 50s, 60s?
Well, absolutely it is, because
when the show came out?
Yeah, when the show came out, yeah. Let me see when the show came out exactly.
I'm going to guess because everything is Leave It to Beaver outside.
Well, yes, but that's like the whole dupe. They're like duped, the Munsters, because they arrive there and they buy the house and it's Halloween and everyone's dressed up. So I think that's what the town really is.
Yeah, even so.
1964.
64. Uh-huh. It just doesn't make any sense. They move in. It just keeps jumping. They find the perfect house instantly when they get to, we're going to move to L.A. and I'm going to be a big star. And then he doesn't even try to be a big star. And then he's just like, we found a house. We're going to live in this house. Now what? Oh, it just so happens to be on Halloween. Guess what? Let's have a party outside. Everybody's raving, but it's the 60s. I don't understand what's going on. They have DJs outside. And then they wake up the next morning and they find out, oh no, it's the whole town is really not like this. That was Halloween.
It looks like Pleasantville outside.
Now it's Pleasantville, although there was a DJ. And then it's like, wait a minute, Lester's all of a sudden there. He doesn't even know where they live. How would he know where he lives?
The whole
doesn't
movie
matter.
is
He just
confused.
shows up and he goes, I have money. And
yeah, that's why I'm like, what the fuck is this? Because honestly, the whole movie is just pure confused. The movie doesn't know what it is. Rob Zombie doesn't know what he's making. These actors have no fucking clue either what they're making. The cars are from 1960.
Yeah.
Like, it's
everything is, except
bizarre.
People are referencing things from now.
But he did not remember 5 seconds ago that he did a freaking rave with DJs and stuff outside. Like, you just said that 5 seconds ago. How do you not? What are you doing? What is this movie? Mm-hmm. What are you doing?
It's supposed to be the 60s. There's a part where Grandpa's like, I'm going to put a spell, right? He's going to make a spell so Lily will break up with him, right? And he does a spell. You think this is going to be another plot point and there's going to be an arc in this movie. Nope. Nothing happens. Instead, he makes a joke where he says, Oh, the hat of John Wayne. Oh, look, his hair. He did wear a toupee. Now, at this point, I don't believe he was dead. It's supposed to be the 60s.
It's supposed to be, yeah.
So
Oh,
again,
God.
it's like, are you referencing that he's dead and this is now? Like, what's your joke?
Right, and I'm sorry about reiterating and bringing up the whole, cars and all that stuff, simply because I was just trying to make a point of like, dude, do you know what time frame your movie is in? Do you know what you're trying to accomplish here? Because you look like a damn fool. I mean, you just look like a fool. And if this movie is supposed to be for kids, what are they supposed to understand in this movie? Nothing. The colors and the costumes and the fact that they're all monsters.
Yeah, trick them with colors. That's what I kept thinking too. Are you trying to trick people with color?
Yes,
Yeah,
it's like,
weird.
okay, lure in the kids by the colors and the flashiness, and
It does look like a fan short online, And if I could like just bring in the Shipwrecked, we like on YouTube.
Yes.
A fan site where they do really great videos, and they look amazing. It's like, it feels like the old times that it's supposed to be in.
Yeah.
And it just feels, and they get all these jokes, and it makes a lot of sense for the thing they're doing. And they doing it better. The guy was handed money from Universal.
yeah.
And I kept thinking, where is he putting this money? The color that he kept putting lights on everything? I don't know what is happening. Like, I don't know. And let's just change this because we keep repeating it.
I know. I'm sorry.
Because we're so angry because we're trying to figure it out. We
Can
can't.
you
It's
tell?
really hard to figure out what he was going for. But if I can, let me ask you this: would you have been okay with it if he had made a black and white mini show as a prequel?
I feel like I would have been okay with that.
Maybe black and white, filmed it exactly like the original.
Yeah. I would have felt better about that, to be honest, because at least he would have kept it truer to what it's supposed to be, as opposed to this nonsense. It was like a big vat of bullshit, and they didn't even know what the fuck they did. It was like a big
vat of bullshit.
I don't even know what I'm trying to say. I'm so freaking pissed off. It's like, it was just
I'm not even that mad.
I can't.
My question was, would it have been better if he just really tried to recreate it? Because I guess the whole thing you have to think is, when you do a show and you remake it or you try to do something new with it, you always have that one concept. It's, what if those characters were in now and never left the thoughts of those characters from then? So you have the Brady Bunch stuck in now, but their thoughts are still of the 70s. Or you have the Addams Family, and they're the Addams Family, but they're now. And it's like, how would everybody ever... So the same thing, you can't I know it's like when you get a new script and you're like, well, I don't want to keep doing that. So what do I do with it? Well, it's like, okay, cool idea. How did they meet? I'm going to make a whole movie around that. Very cool idea.
I like it too, and I also appreciate what you're saying. Like, if they did the series, like if he did a series, like
a little
black and
mini
white.
series, like 6 episodes.
Okay, but if it was less jokey and more real and true to the show, then I would be on board for that.
Well, the show had corniness and corny jokes.
Yeah,
and all
there's
that.
corniness, and then there's this. This was over the top, ridiculous.
Yeah, when I think we didn't talk about, she went on. You brought it up though. She went on a date with Nosferatu, Count Orlok. I
He
know.
looked good though.
He did. I don't know who played him, by the way.
He looked really good.
He was really going for it, that actor. But the problem was, they went to the Monster Club from Vincent Price movie, Monster Club, where everybody looked like shit in the club. The monsters there are wearing fake heads.
The mummy
There's a
had the hugest
sphinx.
head.
There's a sphinx walking them through the door. It is, when that happened. Oh, and we didn't even talk about this when we were talking about the time period. There's neon
There's the
lights everywhere.
Wait, can we just talk about how Count Orlok, he turns on some like neon disco lights and starts raving in front of his house?
In front of his house. Is like, it's attracting her to come into the house and get laid, because it actually has a sign above him that's like,
oh, if
basically,
this house is rocking,
yeah, don't come
knocking. And it says that in neon, and there's disco playing, he starts dancing in front of the house.
This is why we looked at each other slowly. and toast it again.
I'm like, do
to
we have
drink.
anything stronger to drink in this house? Because I don't think I was going to get through it.
But that's the kind of thing, right? It's that kind of level of cheesy. Like, it makes me appreciate the Addams Family movies even more. I already loved Addams Family 2, I think, is
I do,
great.
yeah. I do.
I also think the Brady Bunch movies are actually
Oh
quite
my
fun.
God, those movies are hilarious.
Because they're doing... The joke is that they're never changing. They're who they are.
Right.
But everything around them is modern.
Yeah.
And it's so funny because it's not only staying true to who they are, but it's also making it fun and embracing how insane back then is to now. That's great. And that's how you do it.
I think so too.
Here, his whole idea was like, no, Transylvania, monsters.
I know.
Lots
And
of
it was
monsters.
just the whole scene with her dating, and then they're eating dinner at the Monster Cafe, and
The food was like
and
corny
Mummy
jokes.
is the waiter, and then like
He's
everyone
like,
around
"Whoa,
them.
the service is bad. Oh, the mummy is our waiter. That's why it's taking so
Yeah.
long. It's like, holy crap.
It's so bad.
Like scraping the barrel.
Like I couldn't believe what I was watching. I was like, what is this? I just want to know, like, if I could ask him one question, who did you make this movie for? I don't understand it. Are you telling me that this movie is supposed to be relatable to older people and younger people? Because I have a hard time with that. It just didn't know what it wanted to be.
I love that you're back on this again.
It has to be one thing or the other. But for God's sakes, man, like, pick something. It was just a freaking mess.
Yeah. I can't even imagine that this was made for him. Like, I can't imagine he would sit back and watch this and go, I knocked this out of the park.
Does he have a sense of humor? I mean, he doesn't look like he ever cracked a smile. So, like, what is this goofiness? Who is this goofiness playing to? Who is this for? Because it was just out and out, like, just strangely goofy.
It's weird.
But I did appreciate some things about it, like I said. Not to, just keep repeating myself, because I'm kind of known to do that. But I'm just saying, I do like a lot of, like, elements of this, like the decor and the costumes. And I did like Herman. I like the actor playing Herman. And she gets a pass too, Sherry. But I just don't understand what the fuck.
I love how you just nailed all the points you've said 4 times already. The best thing.
Yeah,
You're like, you know what? She gets a pass.
I'll give her a pass this time.
We
But
get it.
We still haven't
We get
seen
it.
3 from Hell, so I mean, he still has one
we
more
own
shot.
it. We found it at the dollar store. I picked it up because I had not seen it, and I wanted to give him a chance. I want to give him a chance and see if he came back
we
and did
liked
something
Lords of
interesting.
Salem. We did like it, but I don't know. I'm gonna give him one more shot, but I really just can't. I don't think that he's a good filmmaker, and I guess I made my point. I'm gonna be quiet now.
Don't be quiet. So we were talking about how would you do this? Like, if you had to make the Munsters,
Well, I love what you said.
you think that you would be okay with, like, the black and white, do the jokes, do the same thing. I think that if he did that, I would give him credit for trying that.
Yeah, I would too.
And-
I think it would be a much better endeavor than what he tried to do in this.
You know what this reminds me of, to tell you the truth? Do you remember those old, like, candy bar commercials for Halloween?
Halloween is coming, my favorite holiday. I give my friends something special. Nestle bars. They're made with real milk chocolate. And in the spirit of the season, here's what Nestle is doing for me. I get $1 refund with every 2 specially marked Nestle mini bags. And $1 worth of coupons in every specially marked Halloween pack. There are my friends now. You scared me.
Nestle bars.
Get real savings on real chocolate from Nestle.
Yeah.
You know, you always get those, like, corny, saturated color candy bar, like, ads where, like, Frankenstein all of a sudden shows up.
Yes, yeah.
That, I'm really starting to think that
It does.
is, like, just ripping that off. It even looks that commercial edit, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it has that element too. I don't know, man.
Not really. Not even interesting camera stuff. No, I can't believe how amateurish it feels.
You know what it reminded me of at one point, and all the nerds will get this. Mystery Science Theater, when Pearl and, they would all do their opening.
Oh, hold on a second, Mike. Just let me check to see if I care. No. Seems like I don't. No, Brain Guy, do you care?
Wow. Let me check. Just see if I care. No, seems like I don't care. Bobo?
How come I always gotta be the thimble?
And they would talk to Joel and stuff.
Yeah, Mother.
Yeah, I kind of felt like that a little bit.
I see
Like they
what
were
you're saying.
doing like a skit. It felt like a skit. It didn't feel like a, continuous, flowy film.
Yeah, the whole movie feels like that.
It feels like a series of skits.
Which is probably how he wrote it. And it would explain how there's no actual plot and how it just flows together.
Yeah.
Because it's clipped together with plot points. Like, not plot points, but joke points, I would
Joke.
think.
It's really joke points, yeah, because there's really no plot. It just follows. This movie basically just follows Lily and Herman. Herman being, born.
Yep.
And then Lily and Herman falling in love and, going on their dates and courting each other and their little montage of that. And then they get married and
There's
that's
no.
it.
Usually you need something to, like, jeopardize the plot. You need a reason. You need, like, I'm trying to think of the
almost
word
like
right
a
now.
like a protagonist or sorry,
Yeah,
like an
but there's a word
antagonist.
for it.
Someone that's going to come in and like throw a wrench in things, which we thought was the brother who was the werewolf, but it didn't really do anything. It's like he's supposed to be the antagonist, and the old woman
Yeah, I'm trying to think of the word I was
that
trying
took the castle away. I thought she was going to have more of a plot, but it was nothing.
No, nothing comes of
There
it.
was nothing there. I mean,
It was Grandpa's ex-wife.
yeah, like we care. I don't understand what was the point of telling us that.
He didn't even remember because he could care less too.
Yeah. There was literally, when I tell you no plot to this movie, it was just kind of like a very long and drawn out introduction to Grandpa, Herman, and Lily. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all it was. And it could have been shortened. This movie could have been an hour and 20 minutes and we would have gotten through.
Yeah.
But because it was an hour and 49 minutes, we're like, dude, I was done 45 minutes ago. I can't take anymore. All right, I don't know. Are we gonna say your rating? What do you rate it?
Yeah. It's a 3. It's a 3, and that's generous.
Yeah.
This could have been an hour special.
Yeah.
Like,
I
they
don't
could have
want to
packaged it
agree.
in an hour, and they could have cut this thing down, and it should have been what I was saying. Maybe like it's like an hour episode of the show special, and that's that. I mean, I really can't say anything. I said the good, and I've said all the bad. So
I mean, you've heard my mouth. I'm sorry, I keep repeating myself. I just get so upset because I'm just like, I really just want to be proven wrong.
yeah,
And I can't be proven wrong every time.
I always say that this will be our shortest talking trash, and then we always look at the count at the end and we laugh because, man, this has been going on or whatever.
I know.
But this is the
It's my
shortest
fault.
because what the thing is, there's nothing to talk about. I mean, there's no movie here. There's no real structure of a movie here.
There's no structure at all. It's nothing. We've seen some crap, and we always state that when we're doing our podcast. We definitely love watching trash movies. I did give us a chance because I just want to give him a chance. I want to give him the benefit of the doubt. Every time, it's like I'm still let down.
Yeah.
And
What point? Let me ask you this: what point during the movie, like what time, do you think into the movie did you say, "I could turn this off"?
oh my God, I
Like
was.
you didn't say it out loud, but inside, did you?
Oh, in my head, I was screaming at the 20-minute mark.
Wow. When they had gotten to the house and they had a rave,
Yeah.
I walked into the bathroom and then I came out and I was like, this is still going?
Yeah. Oh, I felt like that.
I didn't shut the door. I still had the door open, I just peed. But it was just like, holy crap.
At the 1 hour mark, I was like,
I can't believe this is still happening.
I felt like that too at the 1 hour mark. Now this is again almost 2 hours long.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, what are they filling this with?
I should probably have gone back because right when they lost the castle,
Yeah.
I thought, okay, this is the plot. It's gonna start, and it no,
Yeah, like there's gonna be
no,
like
they just moved. I was like, okay, I'm checked out.
yeah, there's gonna be more to it. There's gonna be something else, and no, there just wasn't anything.
Yeah,
And I was like, how is he filling an hour and 49 minutes?
yeah.
What are you putting in here? It was just nonsense. It was Herman trying on clothes and shots of like what appeared to be miniatures in front of a green screen.
Yeah.
And ridiculous looking monsters with oversized heads.
I'm forgetting about the Lily's her powers and how they were shown.
We didn't talk about that.
It was as bad. It was actually worse than the Power Rangers when they shot electricity out of their hands or something.
Yeah.
You know, like the bad guys would shoot electricity. It's worse.
Here's the thing. You know, they're vampires. Correct. Right?
Who knows? They're in the sun.
Okay.
Nothing
They're in
makes
the
sense.
sun through the whole movie.
It's.
But Grandpa drinks
I think they
blood.
were in the show too, so it doesn't.
Yeah, I don't know. What I guess you're right. They were, you know, because she's always walking Herman out to give him his lunch pail in the show
Yep.
in the sunlight. I don't understand this logic. And
No.
whatever, it doesn't matter. But there was just so many just inconsistencies and just like I knew it was going to be a mess. I didn't know it was going to be this much of a mess. I guess I did. I don't know. I had
we
hope.
knew. Yes, we didn't speak about this either, but the trailer for this movie set the tone.
It really
The
did.
trailer is awful.
Guys, I know you've seen the trailer. Everyone has. If you saw that trailer and you were like, "Oh boy, that looks fun," then you might have a good time with this.
Because it's clips from this movie with bad editing and bad sound effects. The movie actually starts with the trailer starts with the tombstones, and you think, "Oh, this has got to be a joke," but it literally starts like that, you know?
Yeah, it starts like that exactly.
And it has a soundtrack that booms every time they have his production company,
Yes.
which is embarrassing.
It is. It is.
Yeah.
There's a lot of embarrassing things in this. Like, this is, I mean, dude.
And we talked about Rob Zombie's animation skills, and there's an animated scene where they're driving, and it looks like garbage.
It
It's
does.
just like
I didn't understand.
it's so odd.
And it was put in there. It was just misplaced. I don't get it.
The whole that could be the whole movie, but yeah.
I mean, yeah, but anyway, if you like the trailer and you found it, you know, like in your mind you were saying "wee, yay," then you might like this movie. But if you're like us and you are very skeptical of Rob Zombie and his filmmaking skills, and we saw this trailer, we were embarrassed. We were like, no, man, you're not doing this. You're not gonna do this property. You're not gonna do this property. You fucked up Halloween. You're not gonna take this one. And it's the same crap, man. He just fucked it up. You done fucked it up.
I guess that's all we got.
I can't, because you let me loose and I'll start ranting and raving again, and I can't. I'm trying to compose myself.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm an angry girl right now. I just don't. Come on, man. Just stop taking these awesome properties. What are you gonna give them next? The fucking Goonies? Just stop.
I can't imagine it because Universal dumped this to Netflix. So right there they knew. I don't know. Sometimes what happens with these companies is they want to hold on to a property and they don't want to lose the rights to that property. I'm guessing maybe they wanted to hold on to the Munsters and they were like, "Well, Rob, what do you want?" And
Yeah.
he's because I don't think any of his movies actually get theater releases anymore.
Doesn't seem so.
I feel like all of his movies have been like Fathom events.
Yeah.
Or, like, in theaters for one day, which is like now
I like
happening.
that voice.
Now happening to Kevin Smith.
Yeah,
I
it
think that just
sure
happens
is.
that Clerks 3 was just jumped into Fathom events instead of, why not release it? So I think that they're basically just using him to make a couple bucks on or to hold on to a product. And this happens a lot. So that's why we've had so many weird remakes. Like recently, they were also dumped into the theater, into Fathom, was a Jeepers Creepers remake.
Yeah.
And because they want to hold on to this thing, they know that maybe it's a moneymaker somewhere down the line, but they can't figure out how to use it yet. And that happens with a lot. There was a couple Hellraiser remakes. There was that one that was complete shit that came out, which some people would say a lot of them are. But
but
there was a Leprechaun one with the wrestlers. Do you remember that one?
Yeah.
It's like, so they want to hold on to these properties, but they
Leprechaun,
just remake them in weird ways. It's an odd thing, but especially with horror movies. But it has to be what happened here.
Yeah, but I don't get it. Why, if that's what they're gonna do, fine. They want to keep the property. They know it's like a moneymaker. They want to keep it alive.
What do we do with it in the future?
What do we do with it in the future? Okay, fine. There are other horror directors. There are other horror lovers. There are more.
Obviously, nobody wanted it.
Why? Who would first of all? Who would not want this?
I don't think, because like I said, this is a hard one to make. What do you do with it?
I would like to
you
read
really
into
can't
this.
make anything interesting. This is the most interesting idea that I think that you could come up with, but it's just the way he executed it was bad.
Yeah, but I mean, I want to read into this because I feel like I don't know. I could be wrong, and I probably am, but I feel like he fought for this. I feel like he did.
Oh, I agree with you. He went up to them and said, "Hey, you got the Munsters. I really would love to make it."
He has such a big ego on him that he thinks that he could probably just make it so freaking bad.
I wonder if that's true. I don't know.
He does have an ego. What the hell makes him think that he had any right to take Halloween and turn it into that trash shit that he made? Where do you get the fucking balls?
Again, I think that was the company saying, well, nobody's doing anything with Halloween. We have to hold on to it. It's a moneymaker. It's made us a lot of money. I think it was Miramax. I don't know who had it when he made it, but Miramax was Disney owned, and I think they were holding on to it. I believe that's the right company that had it. I'm pretty sure the same thing happened there. Like, hey, we want someone to do Halloween. And he did not want to make the second one, but it made money, and it was, for him, like a money maker. He was kind of forced into doing another one, and that's why the second one is so insanely crazy. He just didn't give a shit. It's another one of these movies where they were like, hey, you're going to make a lot of money. Who's passing on that money?
That's what pisses me off. Taking a franchise like Halloween and not giving a shit.
Well, I think it was with the second one. The first one, he had an idea, and they were talking him out of it. He had a whole idea. He wanted to change it to his way. Like, well, it's a reboot. Why just remake it? Like what Gus Van Sant did with Psycho, where he just reshot it. It's like, he was like, hey, they gave me this movie. I'm just going to remake it. Just going to literally shot for shot remake it.
Yeah.
It's one way to attack it. We talked about how much I love Gremlins 2, where the second one is just, they were like, hey, they offered us a shitload of money. We never wanted to do it because we wanted to do one and done. But hey, since they offered it to us, let's go say screw you and make the most insane movie ever made. And that's what they did. Brilliant. I love that. Because it turned out really funny. But some of these things, Sam Raimi with Spider-Man 3, they're like, you have to do this. He didn't want to do it. So the movie sucks because he was forced into it,
yeah,
you know?
I get it.
It kind of sucks, but you get stuck in these contracts. And I don't know, I wonder if Zombie has a deal with Universal.
Oh, God.
And then he was like, I have to do 3 pictures with them. And maybe one of them was like, hey, I always wanted to do the Munsters. So I see you have that. And they're like, okay. No one else is touching this shit.
He better leave the Gremlins alone. He better leave the Goonies alone and stay away from all the 80s.
I can't imagine him having another property.
Like, but that's what we said last time.
I can't imagine that being true.
That's what we said last time after we saw Halloween. We're like, oh man, what are they gonna give him next? Because he's gonna fuck it up.
Yeah. I just people don't give Eli Roth any credit. He tried to do a kids movie, and it actually is pretty damn good. And they don't give him any credit. House on the Clock in the Wall, the House with the Clock in the Wall.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I love that movie.
And it's good. It's shocking when you see a horror guy do, and he was just basically, I don't care if it's scary. That's how it was when I was a kid. Kids' movies were scary. Yeah. Monster Squad was scary. Like, this was scary. Gremlins was scary. And he just made it. And I cannot believe they allowed him to do what he did with that movie.
Yeah, leave the Monster Squad alone.
But Thank you. Yeah, I'm cool with Monster Squad returning.
No, man. No.
But yeah, this is what you don't do. That's all I got. You got anything else?
No. Well, I said enough, and I'm sure that people are going to hate me.
This is going to be a hard one to edit.
People are gonna hate me so bad. I'm sorry, you guys. I just
Don't worry.
I can't get behind this. I can't.
No, I don't. I
Sorry.
really can't see. I saw on IMDb. I already just glanced over before we started recording. I saw someone gave it a 7. So I
God
didn't read it.
Damn it.
But that kind of stuff just shocks me. So
Let me check what it is now because sorry to hit my.
oh,
mic.
it's at a 4.
It's still at a 4.
Yeah.
Oh jeez.
Well,
it's only day 1, right? So.
it's also on DVD. So a lot of people are watching it other ways.
4.1.
So yeah, that's all I got. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening. Sorry about my ranting and raving, guys.
Thanks for listening, everybody. Have a good night or a good day, depending on how you're listening to this. Fathom Events
Goober.
this year. Rob Zombie brings you Attack of the Killer Tomatoes.
No.
That was great.
This is going to shock you.